I'm gonna keep it a buck and say that the sequel trilogy for Star Wars, like I have a few videos on here and a review of the last movie where I kind of give my thoughts on it, and at the time after watching it, I thought it was a pretty interesting like action movie. Like it never let up, and there were some cool parts about it, but after, just sitting with it, and now it's been like a whole year, I fucking hate the sequel trilogy. I really do, guys. I really do. I don't like it anymore at all. I don't want to watch any of them. The last movie, to me, The Rise of Skywalker, is the worst one because it makes the least amount of sense. It doesn't feel like it's a continuity with the other two at all, or even the prequels for that matter, and which none of them were anyway. And it just feels like it's a answer to the problems, or the people that were complaining about the problems of The Last Jedi. It feels like it just is there to shit on that movie, which in my opinion at this point now, The Last Jedi is better than The Rise of Skywalker, and there are parts in The Last Jedi that I don't like at all, but it is a more cohesive movie that makes more sense. Like the chick blasting through with light speed through all those ships made more sense than Emperor Palpatine coming back. It's just the truth. And so I really don't like the sequel trilogy anymore, and it just has left a very huge bad taste in my mouth. And I feel like maybe in a few years they'll make an animated series or something, and maybe they'll make it better, and maybe it'll make me want to watch them again. But I, for right now, just am not with it. And that leads me to the point where Daisy Ridley said that they were mulling over the fact that her parentage, her father, could be Obi-Wan Kenobi, or could have been Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's one of the thoughts in The Rise of Skywalker when they were, filming the movie. They still hadn't been 100% set on Palpatine, and then they were talking about Obi-Wan. So when they were filming The Rise of Skywalker, they were talking about making it so Obi-Wan was Rey's father. And to me personally, I loved it in The Last Jedi when we found out that she came from nobody, because it was such a huge upset. Like, it was subverting my expectations in a good way, because I thought that she was from somebody from the first movie, and now we find out that she's not. So when she was from nobody, it didn't really make anything different from me. I was like, oh, so she's just a regular person. That's kind of cool, cool angle. I don't mind that at all. Even though she had a lot of abilities and she barely trained, there are a lot of characters that have that in anime and other stuff, Star Wars specifically, that have all these abilities with no training at all, or any training that we can see, and even get new abilities that we don't even know what they are, and still we don't really question it. But for Rey, everyone seemed kind of sensitive that, oh, she has all these abilities, but she's nobody. I like that better. Obi-Wan would have been my second choice, because Obi-Wan essentially is sort of a nobody. He is just a normal guy that was being trained by Qui-Gon, and then he is the master of Anakin out of nowhere because Qui-Gon died. And so he tried to give all his knowledge to Anakin, and at the end, Anakin, who is the chosen one, who is a lot better a fighter and more skilled than Obi-Wan, was trumped by Obi-Wan because of his recklessness and because Obi-Wan had more experience. It was such a better outcome because Obi-Wan basically is a nobody that happened. And I believe that if Rey's father was Obi-Wan, it would have definitely made a lot of people happy, because it would make sense as to, a little bit kind of like, oh, that's why she's pretty decent Jedi. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, she's Palpatine, she's got all these electric powers and shit like that. Like, it's not like she's overpowered. It's just like, oh, she's like kind of strong because of her parentage maybe, or maybe it doesn't even factor in at all because Obi-Wan is just a normal dude. And I really do wish they went with that direction, because Palpatine makes no fucking sense. Like, it doesn't. It's just stupid. And I think it was supposed to be that his son was a clone of him, like a younger clone, but he decided to go a different path, and then he had a family, and that's where Rey comes from. I think that's the direction that they went, and I think that is still stupid. It just is awful. Snoke was cooler than Palpatine in the sequel series, in my opinion. And so, we had something good, and I think that would have been a better direction. Let me know what you guys think of Rey Kenobi. Would you guys like that more? Did you guys like her being a nobody, or do you guys like her being Palpatine? Let me know, guys. And if you liked anything that I had to say, hit that like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop videos weekly. This is going to be Sunscape signing off. Take care, guys.